Well, good afternoon, Grace Baptist Church. I'm so glad that you were able to tune in to the service yesterday morning on what we call Good Friday, but certainly for the disciples, that Friday would have been anything but good. Not much is recorded as what happens with the disciples on Saturday, but since we know that they are hiding on Sunday, we can only imagine that they are full of shock and fear. They are crushed. This is not what any of them expected, and after raising Lazarus back to life from the dead in the triumphal entry, they felt that Jesus was going to assert his kingship, and all of their hopes and dreams were going to come true, and they'd all been dashed and crushed with his crucifixion. There is, however, some activity on the Saturday, and Matthew's Gospel notes that in Matthew 27, verses 62 through 66, the next day, that is after the day of preparation, so after the Friday. So on the Saturday, the chief priests and the Pharisees gathered before Pilate and said, "Sir, we remember how the impostor said while he was still alive, 'After 3 days I will rise. Therefore order the tomb to be made secure until the third day, lest his disciples go and steal him away and tell the people he has risen from the dead, and the last fraud will be worse than the first.' Pilate said to them, 'You have a guard of soldiers. Go, make it as secure as you can.' So they went and made the tomb secure by sealing the stone and setting a guard." The resurrection is a fact, and how incredible it is that the gospel writers here prove that once again, because all of the people that would have believed in, hoped in, looking for the resurrection are nowhere to be found. And yet those that said that they did not believe in the resurrection were hoping against hope that there wasn't a resurrection. Yes, Lazarus had been raised from the dead by Jesus, but Jesus would not be able to raise himself back to life from the dead. The skeptics and the deniers, those that hated Jesus and wanted him to stay dead, as everyone's supposed to, they were the ones that actually wanted to stop anything remotely looking like a resurrection from happening. There would be no grave robbing. There would be no disciples coming by night, taking the body away and trying to make up a false story. And so, in trying to disprove and stop any story of a resurrection, they actually helped prove it. Because how could any of the disciples, even if they were looking for the resurrection, hoping in the resurrection, and so tried to fake a resurrection, how could they now come to the tomb and take away Jesus' body when a guard was set, whether a temple guard or a Roman guard? And so the setting of the guard actually proves the resurrection. The disciples could not have come to the tomb and overpowered the Roman guard and stolen Jesus' body. And how could a man who had just been crucified only a few hours before, literally a day in the tomb or so, not only wake up in the tomb, roll the stone away himself, and then overpower the Roman guard? No, Jesus Christ actually did rise again from the dead. Those that should have been hoping in it, believing in it, and looking forward to it were not. And those that did not believe in it and were hoping against hope that nothing like it would happen, and not even a story would be able to be told about it happening, helped to prove it. It's a quiet Saturday. It's an agonizing Saturday. It's a crushing Saturday. And yet, we know that Sunday's coming. Jesus is alive. He will rise tomorrow morning.